So, it's been a hell of a day. I did some stuff for my father. I'm still not working full time yet. I don't have a regular 9-to-5 job. Something that is going to get me through my bills. So, I still got some money left over. Doing alright. It's getting skinny. So, I figured I'd crack open the Foster's and talk a little bit. A couple things. One, if you're looking at polymer pistols, they're all pretty good. The Springfields, the FNs, the Berettas, the Smith & Wessons, they're all pretty in line with each other, but personally, I'm a Glock person. So, I've got a couple of videos already on this one. This is my personal one. It was a Gen 2, year 2000, that I have 25,000 rounds through. At 8,500, I replaced these sights, the stock ones, with these True Glows. I have a green front, 2 yellow in the post back. I have a KKM stainless slide, clip-on beaver tail, pierce grip extenders because I have pretty meaty paws. I glassed the trigger myself, replaced all the springs with wool springs. The magazines have flat wound springs. The guide rod is a Glockmeister who's here in Phoenix. Jeff, Greg. He's a really good person, knows a lot about Glocks. It's a 24-pound spring, flat wound, screw captured rod. My clips come out very easily, which is what I want. And there you go. There's the guide rod. You see that there's the bolt piece for it. 9-in-1 twist for the barrel. I don't like the polygonal. I waited until 85 rounds to start doing anything to this because of that. All I used was a deburring piece on my Dremel tool and then the old Rouge polishing compound. Got all the rough edges off, polished it really good. You'd be surprised, after 8,500 rounds I still had a fair amount of deburring to do on it. So, it's very, very, very smooth. Usually, because of the fact, this is a good thing to bring up, because of the fact that I have very tighter locking pieces in my pistol, it doesn't come apart as easily as a regular Glock does. So I've got to really kind of take my time, so to speak. So, the flat wound springs for the magazine are much tighter tolerance than the stock ones, and they don't expand the width of the magazine, though. They actually are skinnier than the stock ones, so that they slide really easily, and it allows these to drop, because the stock design on the old Glocks, don't know if it's changed on the new gens, but they were designed not to drop so that you wouldn't accidentally drop if you hit the mag release. Well, I don't accidentally drop a damn thing, so I made that modification. So this is a Glockmeister tungsten guide rod. It's a little bit thicker tolerance than stock. Flat wound, of course, 24-pound. As the Allen key, they Loctite it when they do it from the people he has do it. And then I have the KKM, just the 9-in-1 twist, but it's much thicker than the stock. The plunger spring is new. The firing striker spring is new. All my magazine ones are fairly new. Even the ones in my trigger assembly are new, but they were the New York level tightness. See, I'm very big on tactical upgrade, not for enhancement to a point where it's not really practical for use as a defensive tool. It's an important thing to me. When I glassed up this trigger assembly, the whole thing in here, took it out and took it apart and polished the parts, deburred them. I shaved like 3 pounds of pulling pressure, perceived pulling pressure, out from doing that. So when I put the New York strength springs in, I was still at only like 5.5 pounds, which is nothing on a Glock trigger. It really is not anything on a Glock trigger. So I actually replaced the firing pin itself with a Magnum. It has more of a positive attenuation to it. The total amount that I have in this pistol between the pieces and the gun is around 1,200. I don't see a problem doing that. It's something that has the potential to save my existence. The magazines come in very easily, and it comes in the battery very positively. Now, the only other thing that I really had an issue with after, believe it or not, 22,000 rounds, the spring for the slide stop, it's not a release. It's not like a 1911, it's a slide stop. You're supposed to either activate it only on a full clip or pull back and let go. It's an important distinction on a polymer weapon. Never just push it down unless you have a magazine in it. Ever. So, the spring went out. It took 23,000 rounds for it to go out. But it really is a very accurate, reliable firearm. It always has been for me. Anybody that I've ever known that has had a Glock has never had an issue. The only issue I've ever had is with reloaded ammo, and I refuse to use it anymore. Unless I make it myself. Now these are, as you can see, once it focuses, I hope, these are TG-H3 is what it says on these. The front and back are the same designation, it's just a matter of choosing the color for the set. It's a very long sight radius, really, really long, but it makes target acquisition like instant. And that's saying something because target acquisition is an important factor when you are in a combat situation or defensive situation. You never can tell in society at what point in time you will need to have those things at your disposal, especially in today's day and age. There was a long time where I didn't really feel the need to carry my firearm because I always carried a blade. But there's a lot of shit going down now in public, and even in places you think are good. Good example, a couple of years ago now, I think almost 2 years, across the street from here off of Mill and Baseline, it's the area that I live in, there's a bar across the street on the northwest side of Mill and Baseline. There was a 22-shot shootout between the Hells Angels and the Mongols. And it wasn't the old guys that instigated it, it was the young bucks trying to prove themselves. And somebody died, and it's unfortunate. But that happened right across the street from me, in Tempe, a college town. That's not considered high in violence. But you can't discount location for violence anymore, because things happen all the time. And I'm going to be armed. So I'm usually armed with my firearm now. I mean, I've got 2 now. I got another 1911 after 17 years. But this has been my mainstay, this Glock. I've had 25,000 rounds through it. It's never, ever missed a target. If I've missed a target, it's been because I've pulled a shot. I can hit a 1-inch plate or target up to 50 feet consistently, even offhand with my weapon. That's how intrinsic it is to me. But I started out in 1911, so I decided to get another one. I can use both proficiently. I can use most firearms proficiently. I can't say the damn word to save my life. I'm having a real speech problem today. I didn't have enough coffee. But the Glock, it's never failed me. So if you're looking for polymer, look at them all. The more important thing to know is how they feel in your hand, how they operate, and how you know how they operate. Like, for instance, the Springfields actually have a manual safety on them. Most polymer weapons do not. I know that the FNs are fantastic polymer-based weapons. I just don't have $1,200 for the one that I want, or $1,400 for the one I would buy. And if I was going to do that, I would buy another 1911. So, look at reviews, look at what people have to say, Go check them all out. See how they fit in your hand. See how they shoot. You can rent them at a lot of ranges. Check them out before you decide to buy. My personal is Glock, just because of the fact that I'm so used to it. I can be an armor if I ever had the permit, but you can't get them as a citizen, unfortunately. It's just something I intrinsically know. And I hope that helps in selecting such a firearm.